Burly, back with another Burly conversation. We having Burly conversations, and it's a moving conversation, so we're going to speak on a few things. But I do my 52 block check to see who's dropping 52 block videos, who's putting in that real work. And I came across a video. Is 52 blocks lethal or goofy? Now, of course, some of these videos we know is to bring attention to their channel. You talk about you talk about things that are going to bring some views and traffic to your channel. But me myself, when I hear things like this, I have to question the martial artist, because Wilson Pitts, my one of my greatest teachers, told me something that it's not if the style works, it's if the man works. So anybody who comes with their thoughts on a particular style lets me know they're kind of still in that Yu-Gi-Oh stage. And when I say Yu-Gi-Oh, because they had the cards, and they played the game where you throw down the card, he throwing lightning, you come with the fire, like you got to try to defeat his thing. And if you knew anything about fighting, you would know it's not the style, it's always the man. It's never this. It's rare. 99%, 99.9 times of the time, it's not the style, it's the man. How is the man training? So I don't really go on to these debates or put out videos that, Wing Chun doesn't work and this doesn't work. Now, every art has its place where it may not be as effective. We may talk about the effectiveness of punching when you're laying on your back. See, when you're laying on your back, you can't really throw leverage punches. You ain't got the ground under you, so it all becomes arm punches. So if we're going to talk about the effectiveness of a style outside of his range, that's cool. But call another style goofy or whatever lets me know that you haven't really elevated your game. And then I go to their channels to see some of the fighting they doing, and it's terrible. It's terrible. It's just terrible. Because we are also in the age of opinions. Now, opinions like buttholes, everybody got one. We ain't mad at that. We ain't mad at you for having your opinion. But in today's time, it seems that opinions are trying to outpace facts. That's the crazy thing. I heard a saying that a lie can run halfway around the world before the truth can put its pants on. And that's the state, and that's the place we at right now, where your opinion, everybody has an opinion. Everybody will have one. But now, because of the internet, there's more voice to your opinion. Before, you used to have to sit in your house, have your own opinions, be in your head, and that was that. Now you get to take your opinions to the people, throw it out there. And opinions are outweighing facts, which is crazy. See, the reason why facts beat opinions is because your opinions, quite like your emotions, will change. I used to have an opinion that hustling, drug selling was everything I wanted. That was it. That was the top. You know what I'm saying? You get you a spot that's flowing, you getting money. That was my opinion then. Of course, now it's definitely changed. So that's the problem with opinions. Like seasons, they're constantly changing. Like emotions, they're constantly changing. See, but facts don't have to bear that responsibility. Facts stay a fact. The sun is the sun, the moon is the moon. The revolution, the revolutions that the earth takes and spinning, the distance the earth is away from the sun so it doesn't burn us up. These are just facts. These ain't opinions. But nowadays, you got people actually challenging facts, which is not a bad thing all in itself, because, a lot of facts can be updated. There are some facts that can be updated, and there's nothing wrong with that. But since we're in the place of opinion, we can actually talk about martial arts system, like this system doesn't work. No, you don't work. It's always on the burden of the man. The burden of proof is on the man, not the system. The system is what it is. But what can you do with it? Did you put your 10,000 hours of training in? Because if you did, if you put your 10,000 hours, 20,000 hours in the training, you cannot tell me that you won't be able to use whatever style you're training in the real time, in real time sparring, because you have a supercomputer in your head. And the supercomputer, after 10,000 hours of breaking something down, will find the best parts, when to use this art. When's the optimal time to use this art? So it's never the art. And when it comes down to 52, I myself have spoken against things that have become too fantastic. It's like dancing by yourself for 10 years and then you got to dance with a partner. You're going to be stepping on some feet. So when you're thinking about having your opinion on a system, you've need to have done the work to throw the opinions aside. Because if the work is put in, the system will be your tool to your victory or to saving your life, whatever the case may be. And then that jumps me into another one where people are trying to separate martial arts from self-defense. I've always heard this and it's always confused me, like, well, that's just a martial art. We're teaching self-defense. So you're telling me the martial art of boxing can't be used as a self-defense? And then their next place they go to is, I'm teaching people to kill. Which is your opinion. Because the facts of the matter is, not everybody's a killer. So I don't care what you're teaching. You can't make a cow a lion. You just cannot turn a cow into a predator. Some people have predator in them. They ready to kill. All they need is the utensils and the tools to become more proficient at it. But you can't turn everybody into a killer. And this is what they're trying to say, is that with this self-defense, it's different from ring fighting, which is some of the stupidest stuff I've ever heard. Oh, well, y'all got rules. Yeah, that's rules that the man has to follow, not the technique. See, my left hook doesn't have to follow no rules. I have to follow the rules. If they say you can only left hook to the body, then I got to keep the left hook to the body. But the left hook is still the left hook. The left hook will serve you in a tournament or will serve you outside the gym when somebody's trying to take your lunch money. So the separation of self-defense from martial arts has always been an incredible leap that I see people trying to make, trying to justify that they're not sparring and they don't need to spar, and which is crazy. Simulation of your art. Sparring is just simulation because you can never really recreate the fight. So we use simulations. Everybody uses simulations. The military uses simulations. Going to the moon, when they send astronauts to the moon, they put you in that funny machine to give you that sense of no gravity. Simulation. So when you get there, it won't shock your system. It doesn't mean you're going to be a master of no gravity. It just means it won't shock your system when you shut down. So simulation of the fight is important. And drills are not simulation. You can't drill somebody into a victory or to in a position where they're fighting for their life and all they had was drills. It will fail them. See, because your mind has to believe in what you do. See, you can lie to everybody else, but you can't lie to yourself. So if all you had is drills and this man is up on you and you ain't never really been in a simulated situation of like really handling this. I mean, like no participation on the other side. Like they can't participate with you because then they give you a false sense of security that you out here doing something. So simulations are important. That's why kicking, boxing, and wrestling, they have simulations. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys are on the ground. Kickboxers are kicking each other in the face. Boxers are punching each other in the face. because there's a whole lot of things you got to take in for this simulation. I mean, to use it, you got to simulate it to be able to use it in real time. So I'm always confused with that one of people trying to separate self-defense from martial arts. That's a crazy one for me. My next leap is to my men, especially to my black men. Now, I want to put this out here. You know, I'm going to put this, if you ain't get the memo, Light Burly is not interested in beefing, going back and forth with any other melanated brother. Now, that's all men too. But but heavily on my melanated people, because we got to take a stand. Somebody, you know, we got to start drawing some lines in the sand here, like, because we attack each other way too easy and way too savage. Now, I had another brother say, yeah, like, it's not just us, other races are doing it. That's the, you know, I'm not saying Chinese men don't fight Chinese men, white men don't fight white men, Indian men don't fight Indian men. But how they go about it is different from how we do it. It's almost like we get a joy. Like, if another man is confronting me, I don't get a joy in his demise. I'm not enjoying his demise. I'm just saying, you ain't going to take me out. You know, you ain't going to take this from me. But what makes the melanated thing ugly is, like, we enjoy the demise of another melanated brother. Like it brings satisfaction. You know, it's like eating your favorite food, having sex or something. Like, these dudes is getting off on seeing another melanated brother under some rocks. And to play and not saying I haven't been a part of it. You know, I haven't gone that hard. I ain't gonna lie. It was just never in my spirit. But yes, I have went at melanated men pretty hard. We done spun the block, you know, trying to throw lead at them, trying to end lives of these melanated brothers. But as you mature, you know, you start to see that, you know, the way you felt back then, it's not a constant. It's ever changing. Who you are. See, growth should never be a constant, because then you become stagnated. It's ever changing. You got to change to grow. So that, you know, growth will bring about change. And if growth is not bringing about change, that just means you're not growing. So I'm saying it right here. I am not going back and forth with no melanated brothers in a savage-like way. Like, we could meet up and spar. You know, we can chop it up on what you believe martial arts is and your thoughts on fighting. I'm with all of that. But it's going to stay in the light-hearted energy. Good vibes. Because the moment I sense bad vibes, I'm just going to disconnect. And you can't make me stay connected. You can't make me. I'm just going to disconnect. And even going past that, my maturity has shown me that it's not just the race, it's the realness. See, I'm with all real men. See, that's the good thing about fighting. See, in fighting, we don't have the luxury of the politics. Because it could be a white man or a Chinese man that give you some information that change your life. So what you going to say? Oh, you not a black man, so I ain't taking that information. I'm just going to discard it. Nah. See, in fighting, you got to listen to everybody. Like Benny Leonard once said, they seen Benny Leonard, the boxer. If you know who Benny Leonard is, go look him up. They seen Benny Leonard at an amateur fight. And he was the champion at the time. And they was like, what are you doing here watching amateurs? And he said, man, you can learn from anybody. One of these young guys may do something that I can use. So we have to start looking at the character of a man. See, that's the truest sense of being able to see who he is, not his skin color. The character. And that's where I'm at now, where I'm at the character of man. So if you a good character, you got a good heart, I don't really care what color your skin is. You know, we can rock. We can chop it up. We can build businesses. Now, would I rather prefer to do that with my melanated brothers? Hell yeah. Of course. If they, you know, I'd rather unite with my brothers. And that's not saying I don't want to unite with anybody else. I'm just saying if I had a choice, I'd rather unite with some like-minded brothers. But it's not always going to be like that, and I accept that. You know, judge a man by his character, not by the color of his skin, and still protect your people. So, you know, to me, loving your melanated people is wanting to see them grow, not hating other races. I don't hate other races. I just want to see my melanated people grow and flourish, just like any other race of man. You know, I seen Usyk beating up Joshua. You seen Lomachenko was right there, repping that Ukraine on your brain. That's what they supposed to do. That's what he was supposed to do. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Now, it becomes something when you start trying to shut down other races of men and really going at them, you know, in a wild-like manner for your people. And if that's like, if you're not protecting something, see, now if you protecting something, do what you got to do. But you don't have to have hate for others to love your peoples or to love yourself. So it seems like, you know, men of today have become way more emotional than they used to be. And I remember back in the day, it was like a man don't cry. Like, of course, some of the things got a little too strict. Not saying a man can't cry, but you ain't boo-hooing off of every little turbulence you run into in life. That's different. But it was kind of strict back then. But seeing where it's going now, there's a lot of emotional men out there, man. I got men jumping on my page mad at me for what I'm doing. For what I'm doing. That, you know, that's, you know, and yes, a lot of the melanated brothers have been raised by women, and we ain't knocking women, but if you raised by women, you probably got girl-like ways. And you need to solve that. That's no longer your mama's fault. You know, you can't blame your mama forever. It's no longer your mama's fault. If you a man with awareness, you got to start working on that to change that, and you can. But to stay an emotional little girl in the man's body is a problem. That's a problem. So these are just some of my Burly thoughts that I figured I wanted to reach out and share. And because, you know, I think a lot. I'm a thinker. I ain't going to even lie, people. I'm a thinker. So, you know, as more things come up, I'm going to jump on here and talk about it. And hopefully, you know, if you can't save 100, then just save one. Because he may be the one that saves 10,000. See that mathematics there? I'm going to say it again. If you can't save 100 men, just save one man. Because that one man could be the man that can save 10,000 men. And on that note, I'm out.